Simelang Absheni Ralota Sanvanani Molweni. My name is Naledi Mfoloe, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the latest edition of the African Diaspora News channel, where we unravel the stories that shape our world and our communities. Now, today I come to you with a very heavy heart, the life of Numusa Ndlokolo, who is a young aspiring doctor from Eastern Cape, who was tragically cut short on the 1st of February, just day before she had actually finally paid off her tuition fees. And Numisa had dreams of taking care of her mother, a dedicated educator who was meant to retire this year, and dreams of actually opening 2 medical practices and a passion to help the people of her community. But those dreams, those hopes, was shattered in a moment, and Lumisa was killed by a drunk driver behind the wheel of a red Ferrari in Cape Town, leaving her family to actually mourn the loss of a brilliant soul. Now, my heart breaks for Lumisa's family, especially her younger sister, who witnessed the tragic moment, and the pain in her voice, the sorrow that she carries in her heart is unimaginable. And she spoke about the final moments with her sister and how they had been excited, planning their weekend in Cape Town, but what should have been a time for joy actually turned into a nightmare. And what also hurts me deeply is the way this case has been handled. It sickens me, in fact, because the driver, David Paulette, whose identity has actually been concealed for a while, only recently, after much public outcry, did we learn his name. But even then, his photos remain hidden. And why? Why the protection? Why is his image kept away from the public eye? I mean, if the situation were reversed, if it were a black person behind the wheel of that Ferrari, we know that the media would not hesitate to plaster their image everywhere. Yet, when it's a white person, they get special treatment. I mean, we've seen this time and time again in this country, and I am honestly tired of it. Because why is it that the media, the justice system, and society seem to treat these cases differently based on skin color of the perpetrator? It's a question we must all ask ourselves. Is this the South Africa we want to live in? Because Munisa's family deserves justice, plain and simple. The emotional turmoil, the grief that her sister and the entire family are experiencing is beyond words. And yet, David Paulette, who was allegedly under the influence of alcohol and drugs, was granted bail just days after taking Munisa's life. That is not justice. Not for Munisa, not for her family, and certainly not for the young security guard whose life was also tragically affected by this accident. And what is most disturbing about this is that not only did Paulette take a life that night, but one of his family members allegedly offered a 50,000 rand to the family to help with funeral costs. And to me, this offer represents nothing more than an attempt to buy away the grief, to lessen the impact of a tragedy that cannot be measured in money. And this is where our justice system needs to do better. Because her sister said it herself. She will fight for her sister's killer to face justice. And I stand with her. Because her words, the rawness of her emotion, telling us how she wished she could have been the one to die, and how she carried guilt that she survived while her sister didn't. I mean, she described how upon seeing her sister's lifeless body, she knew that Ngumisa was gone. And the shock, the disbelief, it's a trauma that no one should ever have to go through. And the fact that David Paulette only faces charges of culpable homicide and driving under the influence is an insult. We must ask ourselves, are we really giving the same level of justice to all people, regardless of the skin color or social standing? This is a call to action to all of us. I mean, we cannot continue to accept a system that lets some people off the hook while others are held to an unfair and unforgiving standard. We owe it to Nunisa and her family to demand accountability and to ensure that justice is truly served for this young lady. What are your thoughts on this? Please, let's continue the conversation in the comment section. And while you're at it, don't forget to give this video a